Oh my god, you'll go to the top rope as if that would ever happen. I mean, maybe it did happen, I have no idea. Jesus, that was a massive, that was like a Kenny Dykstra leg drop as well. As if Yoko was going to be doing that off the top rope. Hello and welcome to another episode of Season 1 Sundays. Today we are going to be rewriting WrestleMania history as we're playing Legends of WrestleMania. So given what we just saw then, who am I playing as? Oh, I'm playing as JYD. So I'm not really rewriting history since JYD won the match, right? Why do these character models look what these character models look different than the ones we saw in the just the relive mode? Like Greg Valentine is like crazy detailed. What's going on there? Whatever. So one of the objectives here is to actually do a taunt, which is unusual in this game. You have to press two buttons. You have to press Y and B to do the taunt, which is odd. You think it would, it's always been on the D-pad for the longest time. It's a really simple match. We have two objectives then to hit our finisher and to win by pinfall. So the first one is a headbutt. The second one's also a headbutt, which we've done that move loads, and then into a power slam, into the pinfall, and hopefully that is the end of the match. So we completed all objectives, so we got the gold medal, and we have completed everything in that match. JYD just became the Intercontinental Champion. Oh, and I suppose if Greg had lost by countout, that means that JYD didn't become the Intercontinental Champion. So by rewriting the history books here, JYD just became the Intercontinental Champion here at WrestleMania. Now, of course, that didn't happen, but by this mode, we were able to relive it and see what would happen if JYD had won. I really wasn't aware that this match actually happened. For some reason, it seems to be wiped from my memory. I guess I'm not a huge fan of Honky, man, I have to say. Big fan of Jake, though. He's had some pretty awesome matches. Before the Royal Rumble this year, I was actually going from some of the older Royal Rumbles. I probably only got maybe about 5 of them. I got to 92. Where did I get beyond that? I probably a couple more after 92, which 92 is one of my favorite Royal Rumbles. And yeah, like every single time Jake the Snake. In fact, I messaged my brother because I was like, he was watching WWF at this time, and I was like, how did Jake never hold the WWF Championship? Jake was so unbelievably popular. And then my brother went on to explain that Jake had actually never won any championship in WWF, which is even more insane to think about, that Jake had never won any title, like not even the Intercontinental, not the tag titles. For whatever reason, just Jake never held any title. And it's just insane considering how unbelievably popular he actually was at the time. We do have the same objectives here as well. We have to taunt, do a finisher, and then win. So here we do a taunt. That's going to increase our charge speed, and then basically anything we do beyond here now is going to fill our momentum bar faster, and then all we have to do from that point on is to get a finisher, hit it, and then win by pinfall. All right, so we've got a finisher now as Jake. Let's see what he's going to do. He's going to do a clothesline into a gut wrencher into the DDT, the famous DDT finisher that he apparently made by accident, which is insane to think about, that he went for a suplex, fell over, and accidentally drove the guy's head into the ground, which then created one of the most famous wrestling finishers of all time, being, of course, the DDT. Of course, I can't believe we even have a finishing animation here with Damien the Snake. That is so cool. Why is that not in the game now? They need to bring that shit back. All right, so here we are then, Brutus and the Honky Tonk Man at WrestleMania 4 Trump Plaza. So the Trump Plaza building, the arena model, has actually appeared in the video games quite a lot over the years. I think it might have been in SmackDown Shut Your Mouth as well. Just as like a modern day arena, because the arena is no longer known as Trump Plaza. It was just known as another type of building, another name, bought over by someone else. And then I think they have actually ran Raw and SmackDown in there since. Maybe not recently, but definitely like as of kind of 2002, 2003, they were definitely running that venue from time to time. It's a fairly simple match, but very simple, seemingly simple objectives, to be honest. We just had to do a taunt, bust them open, really just the same stuff we have been doing. I did not mean to do the pinfall though. But we do want to do, we tried to do a finisher, but we accidentally targeted Jimmy Hart on the outside of the ring anyway. Again, this is another weird one where I don't know why I'm playing as Beefcake when he won the match in the first place. Anyway, into the sleeper holds. Oh my god, he gave up immediately. Didn't expect that one, but hey, we got the win. And again, we've seen another Intercontinental Champion crowned as Brutus just ended the longest reigning the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship of all time, the Honky Tonk Man. And this wasn't just because he was Hogan's friend. You know, the objectives for these matches is actually really disappointing. It's literally just the same in every match so far, which has been like, some variation of do a heavy grapple, reverse a move, bust them open, do a top rope move. You know, these are really kind of generic. These are really generic objectives, and I just think it's a real shame that you have a really awesome mode where you can tell really unique storylines of these WrestleMania matches, where you know you're changing the outcomes. And the objectives are, like, I'm not overly expecting anything like special in terms of like special match animations or anything like that, but it would be really nice to have more involved objectives that aren't just generic, kind of reverse a move, do a top rope move, hit a finisher, stuff like that. And I guess now that we're halfway through this mode, I think it would be really valuable to have something like maybe like a short video after the match or something, just to kind of describe maybe like a parallel situation of what happens after this person wins that match. You know, I'm thinking like, okay, Warrior wins here and he wins he retains the Intercontinental Championship. He doesn't get screwed over by Bobby Heenan. What impact does that have on the trajectory of the storyline? You know, where does it end up? And similarly, where does it put Rick Rude after the match as well? And it's kind of like, I feel like these are kind of, anytime we play these kind of matches in like WWE All-Stars or WWE 13 or whatever it may be, I think it always comes down to like, what is the purpose of changing history? You know, WWE 2K25 had the Bloodline Dynasty, and you were playing matches where like the Samoans lost, and you were changing history to make sure the right person won. But then it comes down to like, okay, well, you complete the match, and then Paul Heyman would just say something of no real substance. And then you're kind of like, well, okay, I changed history, but what was the purpose? What was the point of that? And I think more games with these historical objectives, they really should have kind of dove into this kind of parallel universe of what could happen or what would have happened had the decision been reversed, and would it have led to anything it may not have led to anything different. But it's just an interesting thought process of, I mean, like, the biggest what if is always the Montreal Screwjob, right? What happens if the Screwjob never happens, or it doesn't go down the way that, you know, we had thought? The thing that confused me about the Montreal Screwjob is that Shawn was always booked to win that match anyway, so I don't know why. I know that Bret didn't like Shawn, but I was under the impression that Shawn was going to win that match anyway. There we are with a finisher. Nice. So it's just a curiosity. I wonder oh my god, Bobby Heenan, what the hell, man? Managers are so good in this game. They do a lot of like really shifty things. They keep getting in the way, they keep jumping on the apron. You saw there, they can put foots on ropes. Man, they should bring that back in the video games, to be honest. Oh, the club to the back. That's a famous finisher, don't we know it? 1, 2, and 3. In the middle of the ring as well, so Heenan can't interfere. But there we are, we've changed history once more. WrestleMania 5, Ultimate Warrior retains his Intercontinental Championship against Rick Rude. But it's at this point, it's like, what would happen to Rude had he not won this match? Like, he didn't become the Intercontinental Champion, so like, what is the point, I guess? This goes back to what I was saying about the objectives here. They're not good. 3 strong grapples, 2 turnbuckle attacks, 4 corner slams. I mean, it's just silly. 2 finishers as well. Oh my god. This is so uninspired, just having to do multiple things over and over again. So now that I've done that, I now need to, I keep attacking Bret in the corner. Oh my god, you'll go to the top rope as if that would ever happen. I mean, maybe it did happen, I have no idea. Jesus, that was that was like a Kenny Dykstra leg drop as well. As if Yoko was going to doing that off the top rope. Let's see if we can do it again. There we are, Kenny Dykstra leg drop, as if Yoko's fucking doing that. That's insane. It's such a tame match. Like, the objectives are just so boring. Like it's more disruptive actually having those kind of objectives. The fact that I have to do certain actions X amount of times actually means that I'm not really playing the match kind of how I want to. I'm just playing the match how the game wants me to. And the game wants me to do, like, you know, it wants me to Irish whip people into the, or it wants me to Irish whip Bret into the 4 corners separately, and then it wants me to do 3 reversals and 3 taunts. So, and it wants me to hit like 2 finishers as well. So like it's just elongating the match in a way that is like not fun. It's not conducive to fun, because it means that like I'm in a position where I could potentially win the match. Not saying that like taunting and Irish whipping people isn't fun, but it's more just the fact that it's making me do it into every corner, making me do 3 taunts, which drains your momentum bar, making me hit 2 finishers, and it's gonna get to that point where like we're done here. Like Bret is hurt, his health is done, and I'm just kind of just spamming moves now to try and get my finisher so that I can just move on. But we have to elongate the match, and it's, I don't know, maybe it's different if you kind of have like a challenge, right? Because now Bret's actually putting the moves back on. We're building some momentum quicker by reversing his moves. Maybe it's more fun when you're in a position of like there are more things going on, but I don't know. I'm just not the biggest fan of the way that these matches play out. Well, I don't know what his finisher will be. I guess it'll be the banzai drop, but we're gonna do 1 belly to belly there, big splash in the corner, yeah, into the banzai drop. Now this time Yoko's not gonna lose control, and that big ass is gonna come down on Bret. So there we are. We've done 1 finisher, but because we don't have the medal, I'm not really keen on moving on yet. So we're gonna have to do even more damage now because we want to get a 2nd finisher. The other objective we want to do is get Bret bleeding, which I'm not actually sure how to do that because I haven't really seen a move that would make Bret bleed. So I'm gonna have to just keep doing what I'm doing. Okay, 2nd finisher time. I tried to make him bleed, but I couldn't find a move that would make him bleed, so I don't actually know how I'm supposed to do that. But hopefully this will be enough. It's nowhere near enough. Oh my god. I thought I'd done... Oh no, so I still need to do reversals and win the match. Oh my god. I mean, I guess busting him open would really help here. There we are. Okay. So he did have a move that busted him open, which is pretty nice. What do we do now? So we have to do some more reversals, and then the only other objective is winning the match. So hopefully that's enough points to get the medal. I guess technically we don't have to get the medal. I think if we win the match, we can just progress on, because it only really matters if you clear the match. But I would like to get as many medals as possible. All right, 3rd finisher of the match, and then we're going to go for the 3rd banzai. Hopefully going to be enough, because I'm done with this match. I'm fed up with it. It's gone on too long. He's a little bit close to the ropes as well. But anyway, 1, 2. Oh my god, are you chopped to the head? He's got no health, so I'm going to go for the pinfall. Hopefully. I can't believe after three finishers he kicks out. That's insane. What was the achievement I just got? 5 or more reversals in a single match. Man, there's not a lot of trophies in this game. That's crazy. Well, hopefully that was enough to get a medal, because there was no other objective other than getting in a whole bunch of hits at the start of the match. It was just enough for the medal. I guess if I had done those 5 attacks at the start of the match, then I probably wouldn't have had to faff around so much. But yeah, whatever. We made it. We just made a medal, and I'm happy with that. Okay, so we started with 5 attacks this time, so we actually got the thing for that, which is pretty cool. Unlike the real match, this is a 10-minute time limit, so which actually could be tricky. Some of these objectives are a little bit tricky in terms of trying to get them done within 10 minutes at least. We'll have a quick look at the objectives here. We have to do some strong grapples, turnbuckle attacks, throw them into the 4 separate corners, reverse, bust open, and 2, again, 3 taunts, 2 finishers. It's really tricky. It's actually a really, really tricky list of stuff to do. Hopefully we can get it done though. So we've at least got those out of the way, which is nice. We can maybe actually... Oh, no, never mind. It's not lost on me the fact that this is the wrong Shawn Michaels model again. This is the earlier kind of 94 style Shawn, not the Heartbreak Kid that we would have seen actually in this Iron Man match, as we saw in the video. But whatever. I mean, I'll need to see, because there are alternate costumes for people, and I think Shawn does actually have an alternate costume, so I need to see what the alternate was unlocked I saw one of the alternates for The Undertaker, for example, was like his Hell in a Cell 1998 attire, which is pretty cool. Oh my god, this camera is insane. We are 3 strong grapples then, so now we just have to do, well, we can try 3 taunts. That's a good one to go to start with. It would have been better if Sean had stayed down an extra couple seconds there, but whatever. So the charge speed is built up a little bit here, which is nice. We need to do 3 taunts overall. Okay, so we're in a position now where we can do our first finisher, which we don't want to win off, so we need to be really careful, because we had this problem before where the submissions can kind of be instant in some cases if they're low on health, and we don't want a submission. So I'm hoping it doesn't. Oh, it's an Ironman match. It doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. I forgot it's an Ironman match. So in this case, then that's actually okay. Had this been a regular match, that would have been really disruptive, because we would have had to restart the match and make. Oh, I don't even know how we would get 2 finishers off the trot without. You know, this game doesn't have a lot of health for the wrestlers, so there probably is no way of doing 2 finishers in a regular match for someone like Bret Hart anyway. Again, Bret is another technical guy, so I actually don't know how to bust Sean open. I mean, that move could potentially. Oh, never mind. That's my entire problem solved right there. I was gonna say, it's busting someone open as a technical wrestler is really tricky, because they don't really have any kind of physical moves like that would bust someone open. But never mind. Oh man, what a terrible animation for the sharpshooter. But we should score our 2nd fall there. And now our only objective now is to win the match, which will happen naturally in about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Oh, sorry, actually, I do have one more objective, which is to reverse 3 things. I think I've got 1 reversal done, but I need to reverse 2 other things. So hopefully Sean can get back up and he can try and grapple me. There we are. So we need to do 1 more reversal, and then we're golden. Not that kind of reversal. It has to be grapples, apparently. There we are. Those are the 3 reversals then. So we've got the gold medal unlocked, which is really, really nice. When we win this match, because we are 2-0, so I really, really doubt that Sean's going to get 2 falls in 50 seconds. But I mean, maybe I shouldn't doubt him out, or count him out rather. But we'll see what happens here. But once I win this match, we will get more points and we'll have fully completed this match. There's no more objectives to be done. In fact, just for the shits and giggles, because I have a 3rd finisher, let's lock it in. Let's lock in that sharpshooter submission with 15 seconds remaining. In fact, actually, weirdly mimicking the real life Ironman match. Is Sean gonna tap before the bell? He did. He gave up 5 seconds before the end, and that's the end of the match. And we've rewritten history here. No need for sudden death. No need to restart the match. The winner of the 1-hour Ironman match at WrestleMania 12, in this specific case, was Bret the Hitman Hart. And again, I would love to know what the knock-on effects of this were. I'd love to know what happened after this. You know, if Bret had won this match, what would have happened to both characters moving forward? But the game's just not that in depth, so we'll never know. So far we have relived WrestleMania, we have rewrote WrestleMania, and perhaps next week it's time that we redefine WrestleMania. That's going to be us for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing, because it does help push the channel out to as many people as possible. But with that being said, that's going to be us for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great week, and bye for now.